we got connection.
Yes.
Hey guys.
Ooh. Good afternoon or morning or evening, wherever you guys are coming from. So good to be here.
Yeah.
Yay.
So my name is Angie Ganger, if you are new here.
Hi, and I am Kristen Mayo. So glad to be here.
And we thought it would be really fun just to get on live and talk about doTERRA as a business. Kristen had mentioned to me that in 2020, home-based businesses were the most Googled topic, which I find interesting. So we want to talk a little bit about doTERRA, why we chose. Okay, so do you want to start first with your story?
Yeah, so yes, I think, when I heard that 2020 people were wondering about home-based businesses, like I think that's one of the things that drew me into it early on. So when I started doTERRA, I had, we were like 6, 3, and 2 were my kids' ages. And I have always wanted to work from home. Or I should say, since my kids were younger, having that first baby, I had a full-time job. I was planning to go back. And then I had that baby in my arms and I was like, there's no way, I can't go back. And so I tried all these different things. I tried, teaching classes just one night a week for the hospital. I tried babysitting, like kind of a daycare-ish setting, selling things online, like all the different things. But I think that some of the things that drew me to doTERRA as a business were, number one, I started using the products, and obviously the products speak for themselves. If you're new to doTERRA and you haven't tried essential oils before, please DM us because they're life-changing. And I was not like naturally minded before. I wasn't necessarily looking to clean up my life completely in that regards, but having kids was a game changer for me. I decided I had to find something that was more natural. And then I wanted to be able to raise my kids. I wanted to actually be available. I wanted to, if they were sick, I wanted to be able to, take the day off work if I need to, pick them up from school, take them on a field trip. I wanted to be able to cook them dinner. I wanted to be able to go on vacation when I wanted to. Mm-hmm. Like I wanted what I wanted. And so when I got into doTERRA, having been a stay-at-home mom for 6 years, I also realized that this part of me that I really missed, that had been missing, like hanging out with friends, building these relationships, like interacting, like kind of having that adult conversation, right? Mm-hmm. You're like, you miss that when you're just not just a stay-at-home mom, because mm-hmm. I still am a stay-at-home mom, and that's my number one passion, but like that helping other women's eyes light up when they found what they enjoyed, and finding that they are good at multiple things and they can do multiple things, because working from home, you're your own boss and you can make this work however you want. So that's kind of like a little glimpse into my story, but yeah. What about you?
So I guess for me, I had been looking into natural options for a while, really since my husband and I had first gotten married. I was really interested in cleaning up the chemicals in our home, just because I was helping a friend clean at the time. We lived in Colorado. And I remember specifically cleaning a tub mm-hmm. with bleach, and it literally took my breath away. Mm-hmm. And then just the heaviness in my chest afterwards. So it got me thinking, like, there's got to be something else out there. Now that was 21 years ago. Mm-hmm. So, through the process of looking for natural things, I came across doTERRA. Actually, the lady that was in charge of the boys' preschool was diffusing. And that was my first interaction to diffusing mm-hmm. oils. And I liked it. Mm-hmm. I was like, what is that smell, right? And she was diffusing a blend called On Guard, which is, if you're not, used to it, it's cinnamon and clove. and it just smelled clean, and it smelled like cinnamon and
Cozy.
clove.
Yeah.
And I just remember thinking, I mean, I was a Glade plug-in girl, all those scented candles, all of that, because I wanted my house to smell good. And so having something that I knew we could actually be breathing in and not having the side effects was, I had no idea there was even that option out there, right? So she introduced me to oils, and that was kind of my first glimpse into using oils not just for diffusing, but using them on our body, using them internally. And then we had a son that was actually in the hospital for a couple days straight, and we found out he had pneumonia and asthma and all the things. And, you know, really the medicine that he was using wasn't helping him completely. It was bandaging a lot of things. And then the list of medications that they were asking us to use on a daily basis afterwards, I mean, as a mom, it just didn't feel good, you know? And so I had been using oils for a while, and that actually is what got me thinking more into, we need to start using these. We need to start using them to boost our immune system. We need to start using, you know, their probiotics and all those things. And so what happened for me is I wasn't necessarily looking for a business, but through using the oils that we were using and then sharing them with friends and family just kind of naturally like we do, right? I saw the benefits of them using it too, and that's when I started to think, well, maybe I could do this as a business, right? So for me, it was a process over several years. I mean, I've been using doTERRA for over 5 years now. And it was a process, though. It wasn't like, oh, I'm looking for a home-based business, and, you know. So I think as, you know, you're looking for something, you're looking for something to do at home, you really want it to be something that you're using consistently.
Right.
If you're not using the product, then how can you talk about the product, and how can you really help other people, you know, benefit from using it, right? So it has to be something you're proud to talk about. You're proud to share with people. I think another thing with a home-based business is it needs to be something that easily flows out of you. So if it's not something that you could sit and have a conversation with somebody about for 20 to 30 minutes without stopping, because someone's like, oh, that's you, then it's probably not something that you want to put your name on. So just make sure it's a company that you want to put your name on it. You want people to know that you support this company and that you use these products and you are excited to share them, right? So anyway, that's a little bit about my story, but we were just talking about, you know, the benefits of having a home-based business where you do have the flexibility to work from home, especially with what we are going on, you know, right now with the pandemic and everything, just people losing their jobs and having the opportunity to create an income. And it takes work, guys. It's not a get-rich thing by any means. It takes work. It takes learning processes. It takes, I would say, wanting to help people more than making a dollar, right?
Yeah.
So it has to be a true desire to help people learn about and educate people on natural products.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think when you said something that made me think. You know, I've done this I think this will be my 7-year anniversary this July, and which is crazy. Looking back from how I did this business to now how I do it now, I think one of the things is that it can evolve with each stage of your life, and there's not a lot of business that can do that. So yes, I had tiny little babies then, one that was just getting into his second year of school. So, you know, being home for nap time and being home for bedtime and those kinds of things. And then, you know, back then working during nap time or working during a show when they're watching a show in the morning or whatever. And it evolving into now where my husband's home, he's a nurse anesthetist. He's home 2 days a week. So I try not to work a whole lot on Mondays and Fridays. But I typically work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, from about 8:30 to 3. Those are my hours. And then when the kids get home from school, I go pick them up and we do snack time together. I cook dinner and I play games with them, or I help with homework, or I go to their basketball games or practices. Like that's where our life has evolved now. And I know that I could choose to pick up and work more if I wanted to, or my daughter just recently broke her leg the first of the year and I had to work hardly at all because my brain and my body couldn't survive anything else because I was helping her with everything. So I love how this business can evolve with each stage of life. So wherever you're at in your life, you could be single, you could be widowed, or empty nester, you could be somewhere in between, and it can work in that part of your life or however you choose to put it into your life. There's people that, maybe do an hour or two a week on doTERRA, and there's people that treat it like a full-time job and work 40 hours or 50 hours a week because they love it. And that's the thing, we were talking about too, like one of the things that is so different about doTERRA, because I've done other MLM, and people fall in love with this product. And what Angie was saying about finding something that you truly love, that has to be, because I couldn't talk about my old product to anybody because, for one, I didn't truly believe in it, and two, not everybody else did either. And so I think that's the cool thing about doTERRA, is that it can work for anybody, any skin type, any age, any color, and it can work for cleaning your home and making your home smell good, and your emotions and your mood and your mind and your furry friends, and like the list goes on and on. It is all encompassing, life encompassing. Like it's, yeah,
Right.
You tell we're passionate about it.
So I did want to talk about how versatile it is, just because you can be somebody that is passionately working as a chiropractor, or maybe you're a stylist, or maybe you're a nurse, or maybe you're a stay-at-home mom, or whatever it is. What's so cool about doTERRA is that when you already have a job that you love, you can incorporate, if you're wanting to earn some extra money, you can incorporate these products to do that with your business. So whether it's teaching people about hair, hairstyle and better products to put in their hair, or maybe you're somebody that just absolutely loves talking about skincare, right?
Yeah.
Your whole business can be around skincare, right?
Yeah.
Your whole business could be around sports and the essential oils and the vitamins and supplements that you use on a daily basis. So you really are able to take this business and talk about lots of different avenues that people are interested in. And I love that, because it's not just about oils.
Right.
It's about talking about what lights you up.
Yeah.
What your passion is, your gifts and your abilities and your talents that you're already born with. So being able to utilize doTERRA in that way, to be able to get on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or TikTok, whatever your platform is that you're interested in, is really nice, because you can take it so many different ways. You don't have to talk about sore muscles if you don't want to,
Yeah.
And so I love that about it, is we both teach and talk differently about our businesses, even though we do represent the same company. And that's the joy of finding just your passions, the things that you want to talk about and want to educate on.
Yeah.
So what do you think it takes to create a sustainable income with doTERRA? What would you say would be the two main things that you need to do to create sustainability?
I think two. She's gonna make me
Or one.
I'm just kidding. I'm like 5. No. I'll try to wrap it into 2. But I think one is, you touched on it a bit at the beginning too, is that understanding that it's not a get rich quick thing.
Yeah.
In any other work job that you choose to go into, you don't all of a sudden usually make $1 million in 6 months. like, unless you did a ton of training and a lot of work previous. So it's the same with doTERRA. Like, you don't step into this and you're like just rolling in the dough. You have to look at it as a long-term investment. You do get paid weekly, so you do have money coming in if you're sharing with people. But as far as like what, like 7 years in, what I am making on a monthly basis was because of work that I've been doing this whole time. And specifically when I was building, I built very strong and hard for a year in the beginning. So I think, yeah, having that mindset, but I also really think you have to have a heart of service because, you know, with close to 7,000 people on my team, they're not all my customers, but I have to look at them and go, I can't just be focused on enrolling the next person, helping the next person get started. There's a bunch of people that need me to be interacting with them and teaching them and continuing to educate them. And it goes for that new person too, that you have to have a heart of service because not everybody is ready to get started right away. Some people, I think Angie, she knew what she wanted and she was ready. I had to be asked probably 7 or 8 times, when was I ready to get started? You know, what next? What questions did I have? Those kinds of things. So like being prepared also long term with your customers and who you share doTERRA with, you know.
I think too, there's a stigma around multi-level marketing, network marketing. And you know, it might be because you had that aunt that, you know, 1 week she was selling lipstick and the next week she was sharing a protein shake. And never really bought it, but was selling it all the time, right? So I think there can be this negative look on network marketing because I think there are some poor network marketing companies out there. I mean, I hate to say it, but I think there are. And I think you have to be extremely selective who you align yourself with. I think that's why it's important to use the product. But I think there's this negative connotation with network marketing and that we're all salesy and that we only care about the money, right? I think in this day and age, I want to call it modern networking just because I feel like it's a whole different game. You know, people are on Instagram, they're on Facebook, and they're looking, you guys, people are looking for somebody to show up in their life, you know, whether it's health concerns that they have, whether it's money issues, maybe it's friendship, but people are looking for that connection. And I think network marketing has made this turn, or is starting to, into something that's looked at more positively because people see the value in networking and sharing what they've used and loved with other people. And I find that, you know, I feel like doTERRA picked this form of marketing because they knew they couldn't just put an oil on the shelf and people use it in the way that it needed to be used. They knew that they needed to have the education behind it, and you can't get that when it's sitting on the shelf at Target.
Right.
So I think they chose this avenue because I think they really wanted people to connect and they wanted to create lifelong relationships and really, really help people with their health. And so that's why I love this. And I'm so proud to be a part of it is joining in with a company that you share the same values and you are integrity based has been really exciting for me.
Yeah.
So, and then I think there's just other questions out there like, well, if I would get started and want to do this, who's going to help me? Who's going to help me learn all the things, you know?
Right.
I know Kristen and I have separate businesses and she has a way of walking you through the next step. And I also have a way of walking you through those steps. And I think it's important, you know, if you're somebody that's new to working from home, just to have those steps available to you, whether you use them or not. It's kind of just the next step. And I know that's what I was looking for when I got started, and I'm sure Kristen was too. And so just offering that to our customers and to the people that are ready to start a new business, I think that's really key. can you think of anything else?
No, just on that point, like I tell people, whether you're starting as a customer of mine or you're wanting to do this as a business, that I will walk hand in hand with you as much as you want. Like, the resources are there. So if you are the type that is like, just leave me alone, I want to figure this out on my own, everything is, obviously, you guys know Google and the internet is fantastic. There's so much information there. It's all there. But if you want hand in hand, if you want coaching, if you want that one-on-one interaction, we 100% give that. Like, that's the cool thing. And there's groups that you can plug into that grow that community, because that was one of the biggest things for me.
Right.
Is I fell in love with the people in this doTERRA community, both in my own group and then like worldwide. Like, I have friends all over the place now that I never would have met without this group. So I love that. I love that about doTERRA.
Yeah.
I think too, I wanted to touch on the fact that anyone can do it. And
Yeah.
Angie talked about that with, you can make doTERRA work in a career that you already have. And whatever type of person, I mentioned that my husband's a nurse anesthetist. He actually tells people about oils as well. And so, because there's a place for medicine, there's a place for a natural alternative. Right. And so you can fit it into a career you already have, but it also, whether you have any formal training, maybe you didn't go to college, maybe you didn't graduate high school, maybe you have never worked on lives and social media before. Maybe you don't have any sales training. Like, you don't need any of that. Some of that may help you get an edge on, but really what you need is to be motivated to find the answers, to make this work for you, and that heart for people, that you have to have that heart for people, I think.
Right.
So
Agreed. Let me read through my notes here. What else I wanted to talk about? I think another thing I wanted to talk about, for those of you that are already customers, you're using doTERRA, and maybe you've used it for a month, maybe you've used it for 5-7 years. It doesn't matter. But maybe you've gotten to that point where you're like, I don't know if I really want to do it as a business, but I do have some people that I know that could benefit from the Deep Blue Rub, right? Or they get chronic head tension, right? So if you're somebody like that is really just wanting to share with your closest family members or your friends, but you're really not wanting to do it as a business, that's something that we encourage as well too. It's really how we both started, and it doesn't have to be a commitment of any sort. It's something that Kristen and I would both teach for you, a class for you. So just reach out to us. We are not the type of people that, if you're like, I might be interested, we only want people doing this with us that are ready to do it and want to do it and are excited. So anyway, I wanted to put that out there though, for those of you that have been customers for a while and you've been like, man, my Aunt Sally, she totally needs the digestive enzyme, right?
Yes.
So anyway, just putting that out there if you want to direct message either Kristen or I. And if you have questions, or if you're ready, or maybe you just want to learn more about it, feel free to direct message Kristen. Feel free to direct message me. You can do that through Instagram, through Facebook Messenger, whatever you'd like. But Kristen, how can they find you?
So if you are watching on Instagram or Facebook, obviously you already know where I'm at. I will have this replay over on YouTube. So basically, you can find me Essentials Every Day on all social media. But if you would want to, for some reason, send this to a friend of yours, let us know. We can get you the link for the video as well. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And I am on Instagram at Simply Living with Angie Ganger. I am on Facebook on my personal page just under Angie Ganger. And then I do have a private group that I actually enjoy putting people in just to learn more. So feel free to direct message us. And I hope this was helpful, you guys.
Yeah.
I hope you are able to just see that this isn't scary.
Right.
It's really not.
Yes.
You don't have to have a college education.
Yeah.
You don't even have to have graduated from high school.
Yeah.
Seriously. What I'm saying is that you have the potential of making $100 extra a month, maybe just paying your products off, or you have the opportunity to create an income with doTERRA.
Yep.
So anyway, you guys, I hope you have an awesome day.
Yeah.
We're going to hang out and have some lunch together. And have the best day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye,
We love you guys.
Thank you.